Hello and welcome to another video. This case it's a short one, or at least I'm gonna try to do a short video about this, at least under 30 minutes. And it's about the actual astral prey and the limited character that is obtainable through there. And it's about answering the question, is the limited albedo or the anniversary albedo worth it? Is worth going through the astral journey all the way to the 100 summonings to get the guaranteed character at 3 stars? Or is it worth it to uh, try to go for the Arclight, hoping to get the Arclight and then the character? Or if it's worth to get and upgrade the character stars, or only the Arclight stars, or both, or if it's not worth at all in this, current meta. The short answer, at least in my opinion, will be that yes, it is worth it. It is absolutely worth it. But the more elaborated answer is what is going to be next. As you can see here on my characters, I have the Anniversary Albedo as one of my most powerful characters right now. And opening the character profile, we can see that I have her at 6 stars, as well as her Arclight at level 100 and 4 out of 6 stars, as well as, some decent stats here and there. So I actually, use the character. I know what is good. I know what is the downside of the character. I know the advantages, the themes, the compositions you can play this character in. And honestly, I think I can give you a pretty good idea of if this character is worth or if it's not worth and why. And for those people that may be still deciding or saving gems, knowing if they should go and spend the gems here or wait for the next banner or whatever, because this is gonna end in 9 days. Probably it's gonna end in 8 days by the time I upload this, which is not much of a difference, honestly. But yeah, first of all, I will say that if you're running a meta team, this character is absolutely worth it. What is a meta team? A meta team is basically all of those characters that you see when you go on the arena that uh, everyone spams and are very annoying to deal with. Things like this composition right here, or like these three teams are the meta team basically. That includes characters like, for example, the Limited Nave, the Halloween Momon, this one in case you don't know the character. It includes characters like this Tanksisita, this Hamuski, the Big Team, the Guardian, the No Dead No Life character, also known as Seshi. It also includes the SSR solution, the Saryusu, and one that I don't have that is the limited version of Renner. So why it is useful? Because this character specifically gives you everything you could want in a support character. And the game tells you here that it's a priest type character. I will call this character more of a buffer than a priest because it's more useful for what it gives you than for how it heals you. And by that, let me go very quickly through the skills. I'm just gonna, be touching the skills. You can pause the video and read what it is here. I'm not gonna do a complete thorough guide here. I'm just gonna try to say it simple and short so people understand, in case that someone doesn't understand this part, so you can gauge the character more specifically, and you will understand my next point of why this character is absolutely useful, it's absolutely worth it, and maybe even necessary for some people or compositions. Now, basically, the basic attack is just a decent attack. It doesn't do a lot, but it's not useless. And it has a chance of transferring 2 buffs from the enemy that she's targeting to the ally with the highest attack. So this is basically a way of stealing 2 buffs from the enemy. The first active skill is basically an area of effect skill that has 100% fixed chance. That means that it doesn't get influenced by effect resistance or effect precision. It's guaranteed that she is gonna dispel 3 enemy shields from the targets. So if you're facing things like, uh, for example, you're facing Disco Kirtos, and this character already used the ultimate that gives a counter shield, or you're facing the SSR Yuri that gives a shield to the counter team, or you're facing this Albedo with 6 stars that gives a shield to everyone, you could use the second skill of Albedo, well, the first active skill, the Tada Surprise, to dispel 3 enemy shields basically at once. And not only that, but also has, 2 extra perks for each shield that she dispels is going to reduce the damage that she takes by 2 rounds and can stack up for 10 times. So she basically becomes more resistant the more enemy shields she dispels, and gives crit resistance boost that reduces the crit by 20%. The passive is one of the best things about this character. She's gonna purify 2 debuffs, disadvantages from her every time she's gonna act, and she does that before her action. And the game doesn't tell you here, but she also usually prioritizes control debuffs. So if she has, like, for example, she has burn, shock, high tier, defense down, speed down, and stun, she's gonna purify 2 of those debuffs, and usually the stun that is the control one is gonna get prioritized, so she can actually play and don't lose the turn. So she basically will purify herself from 2 disadvantages before each of her actions, and uh, this second point is that basically explains you that she doesn't have a specific skill that heals. She does damage with all of her skills, and 50% of the damage that she deals becomes healing to herself and the 2 allies with the lowest health. So it's like Pandora's Actor. She needs to attack the enemy to actually heal her team. And if her teams are full HP, that part of the healing is gonna convert into a shield for her team or her teammates. So she heals dealing damage. The other 2 points are the most important ones. One is that she protects the team when 2 allies receive damage that initially is going to kill them. She intercepts that, purifies all the possible debuffs that those characters, those allies may have, and restores their HP equal to 25% of Albedo max health, and grants them debuff immunity, high tier effect resistance down, and indomitable. Sorry, invincible. Indomitable is the other. Invincibility for 2 rounds, and that can activate 2 times. That means that she can keep this buff or this effect, this special treatment, to one ally twice in the same round, or to 2 different allies, or even to herself. So when someone is about to die, she basically puts a shield, a golden shield, a visual effect around the ally. They get purified from all the debuffs. They get debuff immunity, that means that no one can put a debuff on them for 2 rounds. They also gain high tier effect resistance boost to increase their effect resistance by 60%, and they gain invincibility. That means that during 2 rounds, they are immune to all the damage, all incoming damage. Only thing that I see that is able to counter this is another Albedo using the ultimate skill, or the limited runner with the ultimate. Only that. But outside of that, the allies that are healed or are treated with the passive skill are invincible, are immune to everything. And you will just see why this is very useful. It increases your window for error by a lot. Like, you could receive, or you can go confident to a fight knowing that the enemy might be able to kill your damage dealer very easily, and don't worry about that because she is gonna keep your ally alive. Not only that, but if she has the Arclight, let's see the exclusive effect. The exclusive effect is divided in 2 parts. The first one is that after using a skill, it's gonna purify 1 debuff from all the allies, prioritizing the buff block. That means that every time she uses the Tada explosion, the passive skill, or the ultimate, she's gonna purify 1 debuff from everyone, like the Maxim set. And The second part is that when the ally survive a fatal hit and recover HP due to her passive skill, it's gonna increase their turn meter by certain percentage and their health by certain percentage. Depends on the start of the arc light. That means that when someone is about to die, not only she makes them invincible for 2 rounds, but she also increases their turn meter. That most of the times means that those characters that were about to get killed immediately get a turn, and you can play their ultimates or whatever you need. And then the ultimate of Albedo is incredibly broken. As you can see, it's a multi-part. And the last part of the passive, if she's 5 stars, she's gonna reduce 80% the damage of the first skill that the enemy throws at her each round, and increases uh, the healing conversion into shields by 20% more when her teammates are full HP. So she becomes incredibly tanky the first attack of each round that is thrown against her. Now the ultimate basically it's a multi-buff skill, but also an area of effect skill. She purifies all the debuff from one ally, that just like the passive skill does, and for each debuff that she purifies is gonna heal the ally 5% for Albedo, Albedo max health, and increase the next skill damage by 5%. So the more debuff she purifies from one ally, the more she heals and the more damage that ally is gonna do the next turn. She deals magical damage to all the enemies on the screen, no matter how many they are. That damage nullifies 30% of their magical defense, and if she kills someone with this skill, the cooldown gets reduced by 2 rounds, and it's a 3 rounds ultimate skill. So she will get this skill incredibly fast again. After using this skill, she's gonna reduce the enemy supreme being action points by 10. That means the pointer that you charge on your Eins or your touch me to be able to, throw their leader skills and so, well, Albedo is gonna delay the possibility of the enemies playing their supreme being skills. So they won't throw things like the negative cast that they usually throw and so. So you can counter that. And not only that, but she has 100% fixed chance to dispel 2 buffs from the target. And that means for each target, all the enemies that she's gonna hit with the ultimate. And each buff that she dispels is gonna give 5% per meter boost to her. So she's gonna play faster than usual. Not only that, but if the damage of this skill, this area of effect skill, originally was gonna kill someone, it's gonna be treated as an execution and will ignore the indomitable or dead immunity skills. That means that, for example, if you're fighting against a Shaltiar, a Valkyrie Shaltiar, for example, this, or this Momon, or this Kokyutos, that all of those characters have a way of cheating death when they're about to die. Like Kokyuto survives with 1 HP. Momon starts healing all the incoming damage instead of dying, and Shelter revives. Well, if those characters are low on HP and you throw this Albedo ultimate on them, instead of, for example, Shelter, instead of reviving, she's gonna die. Kokyutos, instead of surviving with 1 HP, he's gonna die. Momon, instead of start healing himself and getting the no retreat buff, he's gonna die. She basically counters all of those characters that come back from the dead. She even counters herself. If you're having this Albedo on your team and the enemy also has this character on its team, on the enemy team, and one enemy is low on HP and you fear that the enemy might get killed and become invincible because of her passive, you throw the ultimate. And if the ultimate has enough damage, it's gonna kill the enemy without triggering the passive of the Albedo on the enemy team. So she can even counter herself. So, aside of countering death immunity skills, dispelling buffs, healing, damaging the enemies, and reducing the supreme being action points, also gives 3 buffs for 2 rounds. It gives to the ally that you choose debuff immunity, high tier critical damage boost that increases the critical damage by 45%, and the indomitable that basically makes the ally survive with 1 HP to a fatal hit, and increases their target turn meter boost. So she makes the ally in question play faster. What does that mean? That if you're running a meta team with something like Nave, with something like Momo, with something like no death, no life, that are crit based characters that deal a lot of critical damage, and so you use this Albedo to increase her critical damage even more. If you're running a squishy team and you fear that your Seshi, that is your main damage dealer and is your win condition and everything, if you fear that someone is gonna just kill her, you need this Albedo because it's gonna make her invincible for 2 rounds at the very least. So you can keep her alive. The same for victim that he usually dies a lot. And if you want something to increase your tank capabilities, like for example your Shizu or something, this Albedo is also good because it gives shield to her team. It gives critical damage, critical resistance. It gives effect resistance. She also heals, of course. Gives a 2 meter boost, and she has A on HP, S on attack. That means that she hits hard and she resists the damage. So she gives you everything you need. She combos with tanky teams, very, very resistant characters. She combos very well with damage dealers that are based on critical damage. She combos very well with any character that enjoys multiple buffs at the same time. Like, there are characters that the more buffs they have, the better they perform. Like, uh, Seshi, the more buffs she has on critical damage, the more she's gonna deal damage. So Albedo is gonna give that. We have things like Pandora's Actor, for example. You can combine Albedo with this character and the captain skill. For each buff that he has, increases the team damage and healing. So you can use Albedo to give multiple buffs to him and increase his captain skill, boost. Also here on the Phantom Blitz, the more buffs Pandora's Actor has, the better buffs he is gonna give to his allies. So you can use Albedo to buff Pandora's Actor, so he immediately starts giving to the rest of his team the best possible buffs in the game, including invincibility, of course. It's right here, let me show you. Here is invincible. So she can be combined with other healers, with mages, with tanks, with actual meta damage dealers, and you can even do other, kind of teams like an Albedo team or an assist team with Albedo. So she increases everyone's attack, and that is basically what I will say that she's worth it, because no matter the composition you have, she's incredibly good. Like, even if you say, well, I don't run any of this, I run a Pleiades composition, right? Like this Pleiade or this other. Well, increasing their 2 meter is really good. Increasing their chances of survival with the Indomitable or with the Invincibility is really good. So she still combines there. Or you say, well, I run Pestonia for the cooldown reduction and the 2 meter. I don't need Albedo. Well, you can use Pestonia for the cooldown reduction, the 2 meter, and the healing, and then you can combine that with Albedo damage and the capabilities of her of increasing, more the 2 meter, another 30%, and giving even more chances of survival to the team because she can purify and give shields and a lesser healing, while Pestonia gives the major healings and the constant regeneration. So you can combine her with other buffers like Pandora's Actor, other healers like Pestonia, like Lupus Regina. You can use her to counter those characters that come back, to counter the Death Knight, Solution, to counter Sarius with his Arclight, Big Team, to counter Cocytus, Momon, Shelter, the Valkyrie version, this Nave as well. This Nave, thanks to her passive, can revive once. You can even counter her with this Albedo. So you have a meta character that is able to counter all the other meta characters that can revive. That increases your chances of survival by a ton because it gives you 3 different ways of keeping your team alive. It gives you 2 invulnerabilities that save you from fatal hits, healings, and shields at the same time, and only, as well as an indomitable on the ultimate. So you have two invulnerabilities and one indomitable at the same time. So you have 3 ways of keeping your team alive, and you don't have to worry about Albedo consuming her own passive skill because she has A on health, so she is hard to kill. It's not like your other damage dealers like say she has B on HP, or like for example other healers that Pestonia, that you say okay she has S on HP is a lot, yeah, but she has poor defense, like she's not that good of a healer on the defense department, while she has B and A, she has better defense as well, so she is more competent at surviving, you know. Not only that, but you can combine her with any kind of character that enjoys doing critical damage. So for me, it is worth it. The character is absolutely worth it. But now, next thing, the arc light is worth it? My answer is yes. Why? It gives you two benefits at the same time. If I were to replace the arc light and try to choose others, like general ones, you can see here it's only one effect, one general effect here, one general here, another general. Here is an exclusive one only for a Eclair, so it doesn't apply for Albedo, and here a general effect. Everything has a general effect. Well, Albedo Arclight has double effects. The exclusive effect is 2 in 1. It's giving her the capability of purifying one debuff from all allies at the same time, prioritizing to purify the buff block when she uses a skill. So she constantly purifies, and when allies survive a fatal hit and her passive gets activated, they're gonna increase their turn meter and increase their health recovered. So it's also enhancing her passive performance, which is really really nice. So yeah, I will say that it's worth to get at the very least one copy of her Arclight. Now, the next question is the stars. You get the character 3 stars by nature, and I will say the bare minimum is to get it to 4 stars. And you can get it very easily. If you go to the dispatch and send her, I think like 10 days on the dispatch that is at the top, the one that gives you 3 shots per day. If you send her 10 days, only 10 days, and then get her bond levels to level 3, you will have 60 shards. That is enough to get her from 3 to 4 stars. And you will gain this ultimate, ultimate skill enhancement. That is basically uh, the purifying all the debuff on the ally that you choose and healing for 5% of Albedo health and increasing the next skill damage of that ally 5% for each debuff purify. So I will say this is very good because at 4 stars you're obtaining a capability of purifying all the debuff of one ally, healing it at the same time, and increasing their next skill damage by a lot. So you're gaining multiple, perks, multiple advantages there on one single upgrade. Next thing is 5 and 6 stars. 5-star is gonna make her tankier for the first attack for each round. It is not the best of things, but it really helps you in case that the enemy tries to focus on bringing Albedo down first on your team. And the 6-star is the fixed chance of dispelling buff on the enemies and increasing Albedo on turn meter boost, as well as giving her the execution treatment on her ultimate if she were to kill someone. It is incredibly powerful if you're going into the multiplier with this character thanks to the 6-star. So, it is worth it, yeah. It's gonna be hard for someone to get her to 5 or 6 stars? Yes, as well. So what I recommend you is to go here to the Arclight and go and use the summons that you may have until you get the Arclight. And if you got the Arclight at least 1 star before the 100 wishes, then go for the character to try and get 1 copy. So you can get 1 copy here and then 1 copy there on the wishes, and you can instantly get her 4 stars. And then the bond levels, your dispatch and so will eventually get her to 5 stars. But if you only got the Arclight all the way until your 100 wishes and so, and you got the guarantee copy of her, and you don't have more gems or anything like that, it's fine. Try at the bare minimum to get 1 copy of the Arclight and 1 time the character. If you want to know the logistics of this, we have 23 wishes. We have here, all the way here, 23 wishes from claiming one freely per day during the banner, the limited banner. And you need around 17k more gems to buy the remaining 80 sigils to get to the 100 summons on either Arclight or character, and with that being able to get here to get the guaranteed copy of the character, the star proof. So try to get 17k gems, go for the Arclight, and then if you get lucky, you will get the Arclight, will have enough sigils to go for the character, and then you complete the wishes and get another copy of her. If you got unlucky, you will get one copy of the Arclight, and then the guaranteed character, and that's it. Maybe if you get really, really bad luck, you're not even gonna get the Arclight, because the first time is not guaranteed. It's just an SSR random, not the special one. It's until the next time. That means 160 in total, 160 summons for the guaranteed Arclight, and by that time you already have the character. So I would recommend you 17k gems plus the 20 free sigils. Go for the Arclight until you get it, and then the guarantee version. If you can spend all your gems, you have like 50k gems, 40k, 30k, try to get here at least two of each. Two times the character, two times the Arclight. And if you're not combined with, the capabilities or all of that, one of my next videos, I don't know if it's gonna be the very next one or several like next ones, but I'm gonna try to do a little compilation of multiple combats where I'm using this limited character on the teams, so you can see how it performs and the defense that this character provides to other characters on her team. And if you don't see that video uploaded, or you have doubts or whatever, or you're impatient and you're still seeing this, check the videos before this one, the Lord of Nazarick videos before this one. I think I uploaded like a total of 6 to 9 combats in different videos, all the ones before this. All are combats on the arena. I'm using that Albedo. So you're going to be able to see her in different compositions and see how it performs. I have even a video that is called Defeating the Fake Narberal with Narberal on my team, something like that. I go to the arena and fight someone that is called Narberal and has a very, very annoying team. Has a team that basically one-shots other characters. I have this Albedo on the team, and she gives the invulnerability and the invincibility to my two damage dealers, and that lasted enough for me to delete the entire enemy team. The entire team, all the 4 enemies, only with 2 characters remaining, and the invulnerability from Albedo. So you will be able to see the potential of this character. So, is the character worth it? Yeah, absolutely, totally. Also, in the near future, maybe like a week or so, maybe it's gonna be like when the banner ends, for the people that get the character on this banner, I'm gonna try to make a full guide of her, talking about everything about this character, the relics, the awakening levels, the runes, the skills, the stars, the accessories, the strategies with this character, the combos with other characters, and the compositions that she can be played in or with for maximum efficiency. All of that. I'm gonna try to do a guide of the character, maybe like in a week or a week and a half, so you can be able to know and see everything in depth about the character. And it's gonna be out soon, I think. So if you decide to follow my tip here and get the character, then wait for that, and I'm gonna show you everything so you can be able to max this character. Here I try to say, during the first 30 minutes that she is worth it, and how she is worth it by, saying the best qualities of the character. And then right now, past the 30 minutes, I think, I'm just saying, well, I'm just saying uh, why you should double down on getting more copies of the character, not only one, as well as the Arclight, and to stay here for the incoming guide of the character, as well as the probably next videos that are gonna be showcasing her in the arena with uh, more teams and more fights, so you can see how she performs. and the ones that I uploaded before this video, where you can see the same. You can see more fights with his character and how it shines, what he's good at, what he's bad at, and all of that. So yeah, with nothing else to say, because I made this longer than I should have, all because I just improvised it. I didn't have a script or anything. I should work on that. But without anything else to say, yeah, she's worth it. Get it, get the character, get the arc light, get her as soon as possible, and yeah, that's it. Goodbye.